I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. It has been a long week. A long week. It is May 28th, 2021. Welcome back, everyone. We have a great show tonight, but we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to have a short live delay to allow some people to come in, to give you an opportunity to check the show out and not miss the beginning. So we won't get started here for another 5 or 10 minutes. We'll let a few people come on in and we'll go ahead and get going. But until then, I probably should share information, which is always good. Tonight's show is going to be the Kitsap County Historical Museum. Roosevelt Smith is our host this evening as I took a tour with Mr. Smith last week. And man, I got to tell you, definitely probably the most powerful experience I've had this year. No, most powerful experience I've had this year, for sure, at this museum. Those of you that follow me on Instagram got a live tour. But for everyone else on YouTube and Facebook, on Twitch, you will get the tour this evening in about 10 minutes. So if you have not been to the museum, it's on 284th Street. It's open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The history at this exhibit is phenomenal. If you're there when Roosevelt Smith is there, his narration, the knowledge, the historical knowledge that he has, and the way that he presents the information is so impactful. I could have, listened to him tell stories on each item for hours. Just like I said, I can't tell you. If you haven't been to the exhibit, you got to check it out. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday up at the Kitsap County Historic Museum. Take the tour. It really is quite powerful. Like I said, in about 5 minutes, we'll go through as more people come in the room, and I will share that tour with you. And then we are going to have Roosevelt Smith actually on the podcast in about a week or so. But what I wanted to do first was come and share the experience of the museum with you and gather any questions or comments that you have from Mr. Smith about the museum or even about himself. And then as I have him on and interview him, then I'll go ahead and ask him those questions. So as you're watching the tour of the museum here in about 5-10 minutes, any questions you have, just type them in the chat and I will pass those on to Mr. Roosevelt. And when I interview him, I will definitely ask those questions. Like I said, something that is frustrating for me is, G2 is on basically on the same street, right? We're on 5th and Park. We're right over 1 block over and about 2 blocks up. And this entire time, I'd never been into that museum. And so there's so much history. And I hear people say, oh, there's nothing to do in Bremerton, and, Bremerton's boring, or Kidnap County, or, whatever, people say. But, there is a rich history here, and you do need to check it out. I also say, too, as I was going to set up, I had never been to the museum before, and so I had to walk past a number of other exhibits that were in there. And I got to tell you, I definitely will be back. to tour the entire museum because there's just so much history in there. If any of you have been in or at to the museum, please type in the chat because that's and share your experience. I mean, it really is pretty cool. Um, and so, I definitely will need to ensure that I spend a little bit more time kind of investigating the things around me. Sorry about that. I'm just checking out to make sure that we are indeed live and have volume. We do. So that is good. But I hope everyone's Friday night is going well. Some things that I want to share with you. As you know, the basketball tournament is coming up. You can register at www.ksptournament.com. If you want more information, you can also call 360-340-3581 or email subscribe@ksptournament.com. All right. And that tournament will be July 30, July 31, and Sunday, August 1st. There will be a ton of prizes. It is going to be a great event. Probably one of the biggest events that we've had in Kitsap this year. I'm putting it out there right now, and I'm counting on all of you to help make the event a success. So, it's going to be open to all ages, 1-on-1, 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We will have local artists that will perform. We'll be giving away prizes. And we'll also have vaccinations available if anyone wants to get vaccinated or get information on vaccination. So a shout out to Kitsap Public Health and everyone that has their hands in making that a reality for us on that day. So there'll be food, just a lot of entertainment and a lot of good fun. So, we've endured quite a bit, since this pandemic has hit, and, we need an opportunity to have a little bit of fun and stay safe at the same time this summer. So shout out to AJ Ellington. I've had him on the podcast more than once. As you know, AJ is a 15-year-old young man who attends CK High School, and he has been feeling it, right? As we all have, with the pandemic and needing to social distance, and really wanted to do something because he was seeing, himself, his friends, his family, all cooped up inside the house and wanted to just do something. And so he reached out to myself, and we loved the idea, and it was like, okay, we will try to help make your dream a reality. So this is G2's foray into Make-A-Wish, if you will. So, help us to make this experience great. We will have vendors there. So if you want to have a booth so that you can share information and resources out to folks, just go ahead and contact me, and we'll go ahead and get you set up. So if you want to have a booth there, and I'll be reaching out to folks individually and on group emails on how to get set up for that. But you can give me a call at 360-373-3000. Again, that will be July 30, July 31, and August 1, the 1-on-1, 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Go ahead and get registered today at ksptournament.com. All right. So like I said, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping, I'm pushing for like maybe a half court shot or 3-point shot. I don't know if I want to get out there and try to, break ankles, because my ankles might be the only ones getting broken at this age, but we'll see. I might be able to back someone down and, set a pick for someone. So, all for a good cause. Definitely we'll do that. All right. Well, I do want to go ahead and get this started. I see there are a couple people in, so welcome tonight. What is the cost for the tour? The tour is free. The tour is free, but they do accept donations. And we are actually going to donate Roosevelt. Mr. Smith doesn't know that yet, but we're gonna submit a donation on behalf of G2. Zulu, you're gonna love this. You will see some exhibits from Ali and some other greats. So stay tuned. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, we got a couple people in. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. And share your experience. It really is pretty cool. And so, I definitely will need to. All right, I apologize, folks. We're having an audio issue, so let me go ahead and just start that piece over. I don't want you to miss anything that Mr. Roosevelt has to say, so I'm just going to start that over. All right, I apologize, folks. All right, so we got a special one for you today. I don't want you to miss. We are here at the museum. I am the guest of Mr. Roosevelt. How you doing, Mr. Roosevelt?
Hello, how are you doing today?
All right, where are we today?
You are at the Kitsap County Historical Museum that's located on 4th Avenue, downtown Burlington.
All right, and for people to check it out, when can they come down?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 10 o'clock until 5.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'm getting ready to interview Mr. Roosevelt. You'll see that upload on Facebook and YouTube later on next week, so stay tuned for that. If you get a chance, you should come down here. A lot of history to see. Just going to give you a quick pan so you can see that. but I do need to record it. I guess I could maybe try to hold it at the same time and give you guys a special preview. All right. Well, you know what? Bear with me. I'll try to do it. Let me see if I can do it. If I can. All right. All right. Let's get in here. I got my equipment here ready to go. As you can see, the conduit is on location today. Doing some big things. All right, Mr. Roosevelt, go ahead.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Okay, let's start off by saying this. My name is Roosevelt Smith. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I've been in Bremerton, or in the Northwest, for over 40 years. Okay. This is my State of the Union in black and white exhibition of Black Americana. It shows how stereotypes, we can use these pieces to show how stereotypes have been formed, okay? And how it started, actually, how many of the stereotypes started, okay? Now, hopefully, some of you would find parts of this exhibit offensive. If not, future generation would probably repeat the course. Repeat the course. Okay. So first, we're going to start off with this is what I normally do. I wear a dashiki. Let me back up a little more. In my presentations, I started off with Let's Stay with Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. Okay, let's start with that. Then we move from that to my dashiki, and normally this is what I wear. I wear the liberation colors, which are red, black, and green.
All right.
The black stands for the people. The green stands for the land, which is the United States. And the red stands for the blood that was continuing to spill on the land. Okay? Okay. Let's move to the front. Okay. The State of the Union in black and white. The Roosevelt Smith collection of Black Americana. Each piece tells a story of horror, hate, terror, love, kindness, laughter, hope, to which embodies the African American experience from the time we set foot on this land. As I said, I've lived in Berlin for over 40 years. I'm a retired mental health counselor, Vietnam era Air Force veteran, antique dealer, appraiser, former commander of the Kitsap Vets, National Association of Black Vets, sensitivity trainer focusing in on the African American experience, and a member of the Bremerton Arts Commission. I've been collecting these items for over 60 years, actually. 60 years, absolutely. My first piece that I started collecting, man, was a book by my grandfather, which was a minister in Dawesville, Mississippi. Okay? And I was being groomed. I've been taught to become a minister by my grandfather. Like I said, my grandfather was a minister. My great-grandfather was an evangelist. Okay? My grandfather's name was Samuel Cotton. Reverend Samuel Cotton. Reverend Samuel Cotton was bred out of Mississippi, out of Dawesville, Mississippi, because he wrote Congress complaining about sharecropping, and we will get to what sharecropping is later on in the presentation. At that time, not only was he the leading minister in Dawesville, his daughter owned one of the stores that was in Dawesville. My grandfather had to run to Memphis, I had to live in Memphis for a time period. The White City Council, which during that time was actually part of the KKK, had a special meeting. And he said, look, Mr. Reverend Cotton is a strong advocate for our city, so we need to bring him back in. So they brought him back to Mississippi with the promise that he would not be terrorized, okay? But he still preached against segregation. He preached against the horrors of sharecropping. Okay. My father's name was Henry Smith, and he's from Greenville, Mississippi. Down south, he's known as, they call him Freedom Smith because he marched from the East Coast to the West Coast looking for and demanding equity when it comes to African Americans. Okay, my father also marched with Dr. King, and my father was at Selma. Years ago, I went down to visit my father, and my father told me about Selma. Now, my father wasn't a violent person, but as he was telling me about what happened in Selma, he stated, and I will never forget, he said, as he hit his wall, he said, how in the world can a human being do another human being the way that they did us in Selma? Okay? My father. So anyway, so I started collecting Black Americana. And the reason why was to preserve this history. Now, the history is horrible. Some of it is horrible. And like I said, it tells stories. It tells stories. So the first piece we're going to talk about is what I am wearing. This is a slave tag. Okay? This is a slave tag. During slavery, many of your slaves were artisans, okay? They were a great metalsmith, they were blacksmith, they painters, they had so many skills, okay? What happens is that if a master was losing money or needed more money, he would hire that slave out. That slave had to wear the slave tag. Okay. But along with the slave tag, he had to have a piece of paper in his pocket that would piggyback the information that's on the slave tag. Now, if he didn't have it, he could be taken and beaten by the slave hunters. He could be resold. Okay, so this was a very big piece of memorabilia from slavery. Okay. I also have, okay, here we go. Okay. Now, when you talk about images, when you talk about Black Americana, you have to talk about Aunt Jemima and Uncle Mose. Okay? And these are pieces, these are cups with Aunt Jemima on it and Uncle Mose. If you notice, Aunt Jemima, oh my God, she, you always saw her in a head rag with an apron. And Uncle Mose would always have, a tuxedo on, better yet, a servant uniform, okay? And their job was to serve the masters, okay? It's to serve the masters. Aunt Jemima, throughout history, when you saw in cinema, you saw the image of Aunt Jemima. Dolls that were first created, which were for the white kids, would be shown as Aunt Jemima in a servitude posture, so to speak, okay? Actually, there was a real person there was a person that played Aunt Jemima. Her name was Dorothy Green, okay? And what happened in the late 1800s, this businessman developed this storyline about Aunt Jemima, okay? And he had her cooking at the World's Fair. And the storyline was, hey, guess what? She's from down south. She's from, I think, her owner lived in Kentucky, and she cooked all these great pancakes and things of this nature. It was really, really successful. So successful that that he sold Aunt Jemima the images and all to a larger company. Okay, in 1934, 35, 36, Aunt Jemima came to Birmingham. Okay, and she and that's what Dr. Green would do. She would tour the country promoting pancake mix. Okay. Wow. And now Uncle Moses. Oh, what a man. Okay. Now, Uncle Mose was a faithful servant. Okay, he Malcolm X tells the story about the house Negro and the field Negro. The field Negro was that buck that was outside working, from sun up, sundown, and in between, and he despised the master. The field Negro despised the master. He did everything he could to sabotage the product that the master had him working at. Okay, he was a revolutionist actually, because if the master died, he celebrated. Okay, now on the other end, the house Negro, as Malcolm would say, was so faithful. And the thing is, say, as Malcolm would say, well, say the mansion is burning down, okay? There's a possibility that the field Negro said it. Well, I'm sorry, but anyway, the mansion is burning. The house Negro would say to the master, our house is burning. Showing more ownership and loyalty to that house than the master. Okay, and also the house Negro felt a little better about his situation. Okay, he felt a little better because he wasn't beaten as much as the field Negro. Okay, so anytime you hear the word field Negro, what that means is a black that a house Negro. Okay, it was that black that is so dedicated to the mission of whites. Okay, are the oppressor than he is of himself and are his people. Because in many of your revolutions that were had during that period, slave revolts, your house Negro would tell if you found out about it. All right. So that's Uncle Mose and Aunt Jemima. Okay. Now, as we go through this, I jumped from slavery to the 60s. I go all over the place, okay? Okay. Put you here and put you there. Imagine you had never met an African American, never seen an African American person, only through the prints, the books, okay, like your little black sample books and the magazines, okay. Just imagine you never saw, and many times when we saw pictures of the slaves, they were always happy, like in Gone with the Wind. They was just happy and jolly. No, slavery was not fun. It was the most hard. It was the most inhumane thing that a person can do to another person or to a people. Okay. As we stroll through here, you would see, for instance, over here. These are pieces that were in white houses, okay, white folks' houses, okay? You would have a menu. You would have I has to have store reminder. It has the things that we need: flour, meal, rice, etc. Also, the cookie jars. The cookie jars. Okay? The mammy cookie jars. Down south, where you had, and actually in the north, you had black domestic workers. Okay? And there were stories in which the lady of the house would have these cookie jars in her home. One evening she might come home and she goes, Betsy, or whatever the maid's name is, the domestic name is, what happened to my cookie jar? The maid will say something to the fact of, oh God, I'm sorry, but I dropped it. No, she didn't drop it. She did not. She broke it purposely because the image was so disturbing. Okay. Say if you wanted, you wanted syrup. You have a Mary syrup jar. If you're doing your clothes and you needed to iron your clothes and have a little sprinkler, you have a water sprinkler. That's the white piece down there. Okay. Here. Okay. Your salt and pepper shakers. You have those are called pickaninnies. That's what they refer to black kids as pickaninnies. Pickaninnies. The salt and pepper shakers. Okay. Hot pads. You see the exaggerated features of these characters. Okay. Okay. See, if you had a bar in your home, you would have bar glasses that would show pictures of natives or blacks. Many times you'll see the going theme of watermelon, okay, and native. And you'll see also the issue of cannibalism, okay? You will always see the black male putting the white female into a pot, okay? And in actuality, that stereotype about blacks being cannibals, of the natives being cannibals, or the Africans being cannibals, to tell you the truth, the Africans, when they first saw the Europeans, they thought that they were cannibals because of their skin color and also because of their hair. But it became twisted. It became twisted as it came to this shore. Okay. So let's go back to the bar. Say you had a bar and you want to entertain your friends, you would have a native lady dressed here in the corner. Okay. And it asks the question, martini anyone? And what you would do, you would raise the little covering and it says, yes, I would take one. Okay. I'm sorry, it's right here. This is Zulu Lulu. Now this is on your bar, okay? Zulu Lulu will make your guests bust out laughing. Look at this piece. It shows the digression of the black female from 15 to 40. Okay. The sexual politics, a lot of it was reinforced by stereotypes. Okay. And as we go on, you would see I have a couple of pictures of statues of little black boys that's having their penises attacked by a goose, okay, are stuck in a fence. Okay. You would also see part of the exhibit. We have a plastic toy with a black character with exaggerated features. You touch his head, and you know what happened? His penis comes out. Okay. Remember now, you've never seen an African American before. Okay, only through these images and print, newspapers, things of that nature during that period. Okay. Guess what? So you wanted to wash your clothes. You would go out and you get some gold dust, the many-purpose cleaner. And you see right there, those are pickaninnies. Okay? And the story is that they would clean everything in your house. And the gold dust twins also, right here, the scouring cleaner. They would clean for you. In your kitchen, get an apron. And it's Jungle Joe's menu, not a menu, but a menu, boiled hunter on a glass. You have a white. It's being cooked and prepared by those natives. Okay. Stereotypes. Oh, this area we have Sambo's restaurant. Sambo has it. That's what their slogan. We have the thermos, the tokens, and also the cups. Sambo. You know, when Sambo was originally started, when the young lady wrote the book about Sambo, it wasn't really negative. What happened is the years progressed and it became more and more negative, so to speak, okay? And threw light on the stereotypes of African Americans. Okay. Oh, forgot to tell you. See, you wanted to, the man in the house wanted to smoke a pipe. He can have the darky pipes that he can smoke. Okay. And after he finished smoking, he wanted to brush his teeth. He'll go in the restroom and get him some darky toothpaste. Look at that. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Say he needed his shoes shine. He would go to the corner or have one of the boys come in and the shoe polish cover would have that of black. Stereotypes. Now, say you want to go out for dinner, okay? You would go to a place called the Coon Chicken Inn, which was a restaurant strain in Seattle, Portland, and Utah, Salt Lake City. Okay? Coon Chicken Inn. I have their menu. I have the match covers. I have the straws. And if you notice the exaggerated features, as one would walk into the restaurant, they would walk in the mouth of the coon chicken. Okay? Reinforcing stereotypes. Okay? These are true stories. I'm not exaggerating at all. This is Jocko. Okay? That was a history piece that was in many of your southern towns, or your southern plantations, or your southern farms, okay? Back in 1960, when I was a teenager, some guys that I knew in the community would go out to those areas with shotguns, and they would blow the heads off, or they would use hammers to crack them, okay, to break them, because they're so derogatory. Okay? So derogatory. Okay. So, are you good? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go to some African carvings. Okay. Yeah. These are some nice little African carving pieces.
Beautiful.
Okay. This piece has a really close relationship with me, as do all of my pieces, but this one really does. What happened is when I was a kid, 4 or 5 years old, I had a nightmare. And in that nightmare, when I opened my eyes, apparently there was something on my chest, and it looked like this piece, this mask. I knocked it off. Okay, and it landed on the floor, and of course I started to cry, and my mom came to me. Years later, I was in Los Angeles at a museum auction. I saw this piece, and man, I had to have it, and it's part of my collection. Okay. And these are other pieces of art. We have a shield, African shield. We have a wooden doll from Uganda. Okay. We have a headrest. This is a headrest right there. In many of your tribes, you would have a stool and you would have a headrest. And the stool showed the position that that person was at within that tribe. Okay, this is an Akimba, African music piece. It was popularized actually with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, some of their pieces you could hear the Akimba. Okay, over this area we have the head. That is a Moor. I would encourage anyone seeing this to look up the Moors, Moor, okay, Austrias, okay? That's what Othello was a Moor. And let me tell you, it would blow your mind the history of the Moors. You know, the Moors um, was took Spain out of the Dark Ages. It helped Europe out of the Dark Ages, okay? When many of the Europeans were in caves, the Moors had built universities. Okay? Also, the things that the Moors did, they specialized in the concept of quarantine. When a person was sick, they established hospitals. And when a person was sick, they would quarantine the person to prevent the spread of that disease. Okay? Okay. And here's, this is a shield. This was given to me by some missionaries. This is from the late 1800s. Okay, and this is the way, the condition that it came in. Okay. Now, let's go to this area. Let me get a chance. Oh. And here you have pieces that you would see in curio cabinets in homes, in white homes. You would have, one of the things you would always see in print, you would see the African American male shooting dice. Okay, that's what he's doing, he's shooting dice, okay? Here's the little boy shooting dice, okay? You have a clock with a feature of an African American. Okay. Okay. Down here, you have the Afro Dome. That's the one that you take and you push the head. I want to kind of get it. Let me see. Okay. Get it down. Don't move. Don't fall. Oh shoot. Oh, there it goes. It's coming around. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't open it. Okay.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. 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 As we go down a little further, we'll see a little hand toy of an African, of a native. Once you move it, it jiggles. The body jiggles. She's semi-nude. Okay. Semi-nude. Okay. If you wanted to save money, you had a bank. Mm-hmm. Enforcing stereotypes. Enforcing stereotypes. Okay. I must show you guys this one. This is, wait a minute, something is wrong. Something's wrong with this picture.
It's like a black Betty Boop.
Man, come on, man. Betty Boop was not, come on. People are trying to revise history. Actually, the persona of Betty Boop was started by a black woman, okay, out of Harlem, New York. The story goes that she was performing it, okay, in Harlem, and some white actresses, this one white actress came into and saw her performance. She took it from downtown to uptown, okay, and she claimed it as her own, okay. So when you see Betty Boop, believe me, the Betty Boop persona was started by a black woman. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Let's see that. Okay. what I want to do now is I want to talk about the Klan. Okay, the Klan. In my collection, I have this is original piece of paper from the NAACP. Okay. During the 20s, what was happening was every time a black was lynched, okay, the NAACP would fly a flag or a number saying that a black was lynched today. Okay? That they were lynched today. When we talk about black history, slavery have to be included. The Klan must be included. Okay? There has been a lot of debate as to why was the Klan started? What motivated? Maybe they started because they wanted to scare blacks from voting. Interesting idea. I have an application for membership in the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. Okay. And also have from the early 20s an application for citizenship in the Invisible Empire, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. Okay. I have a token that was given to Klansmen that were in good standings. There's a knife with Klan. There's a token from 1923 of the Klansmen. Okay. And my mom was born in 1823. A young lady at an auction knew that I had collected this type of stuff, so she got this for me. Okay. This is a letter detailing or saying, and it's from the Klan saying, hey, look, you have done something that needs to be taken care of. That was against the rules of the Klan, and if you don't do it, we're going to take care of you. These cats was terrorists, okay? That's exactly what the Klan is and was. They were terrorists. They terrorized the black community. Here's an actual print. Okay. Okay. Okay, and let's go back to the rattle. Okay. That's an actual rattle that was put on slaves that ran away. They had a history of running away, and when you put it on them, they move. As they start running, it's getting louder and louder and louder, and would alert the master. Okay. Here's a button that was given to me by not a button. I'm sorry, a belt buckle, and this is an actual Klan belt buckle. Okay. Also, this is an actual Klan headpiece. Okay, you can see the face. Okay, the Klan. Master at Terror. Master at Terror. There's a book called The Klansman. It was written by Thomas Dixon. There was a movie, a solid movie called The Birth of a Nation that was done by D.W. Griffin. D.W. Griffin was the leading producer, director, during that period. He revolutionized cinema, but he produced The Birth of a Nation, which was the first movie that was screened at the White House. During that time, Woodrow Wilson was the president. Woodrow Wilson was a Klansman. He was a wizard, a high-ranking official within the Klan. So was many of your doctors, lawyers. Okay. There's a couple of scenes. The whole movie was filled. It was the most racist film that had ever been produced in the United States. But there's a couple of pieces, a couple of scenes that I'm going to share. One of the scenes is, it was right after Reconstruction, and during that period, we had our first black lieutenant governor from Louisiana, okay, and we had other black elected officials, okay. The characters that were in The Birth of a Nation, the main character was all white, okay, but the bad ones were all white, but they were dressed in blackface, okay. Dressed in blackface. They showed one scene in which these blacks are in the House chamber, and instead of them working to enact laws and take care of the government, they were in there gambling. They were in there eating chicken and bare feet. You see, the thing is, within the realm of stereotypes, blacks and chicken, blacks and watermelon. I asked a friend of mine, a business partner, I said, man, look, let me ask you, does white people eat watermelon and chicken? And he said, I don't know. Think about that. Okay. So the other scene is with the field Negro, or the buck, that's what he was called. His name was Gus. Okay. And Gus was a bulky character. Now he was white, dressed in blackface. Okay. And then there was the Southern Belle. Boom. Okay. So in one of the scenes, the Southern Belle was running away from the buck. Okay. And the camera was catching the facial features of the Southern Belle. And it was like, she's horrified, I'm horrified. What is he going to do to me? Okay. Now, Buck is like, and he's a white guy in blackface. He's going, I'm going to get you. Okay? It goes back to her. Oh no, he's going to do something to me. Back to the Buck. I'm going to get you. Now, remember this is silent film, okay? Silent film. Now, you can relate, black males can relate to that. Meaning that if you're on a damn elevator and there's a white girl on the elevator, she'll look at you and she'll go to the corner. Or if you walk into a white girl, a white woman, a white person, and if they see you coming, they'll grab that purse and go the other way. Okay. Stereotypes. So let's go back to Gus. Okay. So, and this Southern Belle. So what happened is that finally she made it to the edge, and she looked down, and there was water and rocks, and she looked at Gus at the black buck, and she goes, oh my God, what am I gonna do? She hurled herself into the water. She killed herself. At that moment, the KKK came in and rescued the whole plantation. They murdered all of the blacks that were there. Okay, saving the South. At the conclusion of that movie, that night it was first shown, black townships, blacks were killed. We were lynched. We were beat. Our townships were burned up. Our communities were burned down because of that movie, The Birth of a Nation. The NAACP, which was a very strong and active organization during that period, raid, please get rid of that movie. Many cities outlawed the showing of that movie because it was that powerful. And the membership of the Klan reached its highest level ever in membership. Okay. But the Birth of a Nation, the Klan was so powerful. But let me tell you, let me get it right. mean every word. Alabama's got me so upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi hot now. She made me lose my rest. And everybody knows about Mississippi hot now. Black cat across the path. I think every day's gonna be my last. Nina Simone, just because of this song, the Klan put out a ransom on her head. Okay, Nina Simone could have just she could have been silent, but she wasn't. Nina Simone whole life was dedicated to Black rights. I really admire her song, but that was Nina Simone, Mississippi Goddamn. Okay, look, we have, I have this photograph. This is a photograph of a slave out of out of Alabama. Okay. Okay. Oh, this piece. Okay, that is from 1814. 1814. It's from New Orleans. Okay, and it's a bill of sale for slaves. Okay, it's an actual document. Okay. Okay. In Memphis, where I'm from, this is the auction block. This is where they would sell the slaves from. Okay. Right. Let's go to. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh my God, man! Black cowboys. There were black cowboys. The first person outside of Native, of course, to stand on the area that was called, that became the state of Washington, was an African American. He was, shit. Sorry about that. He was a mountain man. Okay? He was a mountain man. Next, let's explore some of the 20s stuff, okay? Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. Beautiful piece. That was done by a professor at in Ellensburg, Washington, Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. What an American. My God, what an American. Let me tell you a little about the Brown Bomber. When Joe Louis was fighting, it was a community event for African Americans. They would stand by their radios and they would, every blow that Joe took out, blacks celebrated. We celebrated because he was a hero. But not only was he a hero to African Americans, he was a hero to the United States. Now, during this period, I think he fought Maximilian twice. I think the first time he lost. The second time, during the fight, or prior to the fight, Hitler started talking about the strength or the superiority of the Aryan nation. Okay, and of course, you know the story of Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens proved him wrong by defeating the Germans, during the Olympics. Well, Joe Louis fought Smith, knocked him out, and debunked a lot of the propaganda that Hitler was throwing out. Now, and Joe Louis, being that he was during that period, remember he couldn't go to certain restaurants, he couldn't stay in certain neighborhoods. Okay, he was facing the Jim Crows, man, the Jim Crow laws. Okay, but he's steadfast, and this is what he did. Joe Louis later on, made some bad investments. But I would say this: after those bad investment, he ended up being a damn door greeter in Vegas. How pathetic! How pathetic that this hero, this American hero, had to end up being a door greeter. Okay? When some companies should have said, Joe, look, man, you made some bad investment, okay, but you are an American hero, man. We're gonna take care of you for the rest of your life. Later on, he did some color commentating on some of the fights, but it was ridiculous that this hero had to do door greetings. Okay, Joe Louis. This is a hat that belongs to the matriarch of my family at one time, B.H. Barrage. He was a Pullman porter. Not only was he a Pullman porter, but he worked at the University of Washington. He worked with the space monkeys. But let's go back to Pullman porter. The Pullman porters were believed to be the first actual black middle class. Okay, the first black middle class. Okay, and of course, as we know, the whites would call them all George by the same name, except this one white dude by the name of Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason didn't fly. He would always take the train, and he was always given his own training. Okay, his own goose, what have you. And these Pullman porters would come in and they would drink out of the same bottle. Oh no. What's mind-blowing about that is the period that we're talking about, okay? And how black men were being treated, blacks were being treated. Jackie Gleason treated the Pullman porters with the ultimate amount of respect. After the trip, he would give each porter that was there with him a Christmas. Jackie Gleason. There's another white dude that people don't talk about. And one of them, especially down south, when you saw pictures of this white dude, he would have these fiery eyes and this long hair, and he would be, the image of him would be of a madman. Talking about John Brown. John Brown. Let me tell you, John Brown was a minister, and he paid the ultimate for black freedom. He paid the ultimate. He paid for the life of his kids and himself. They were lynched. Okay. What John Brown would do, he would go to these plantations and he would kill everyone within the plantation and free the slaves. Okay. Of course, there were Negroes in that period that did not like John Brown. And there were some that snitched on any uprising. If they heard that John Brown was coming, they would tell the masters. Okay? But John Brown believed in his Bible, and he did it. He said that no man should own another man. And like I said, he sacrificed his the most precious thing that he had, which is his life and the life of his kids, for black freedom. So within, as we know, within the black experience, we have never been taught to hate. We have never been taught to hate because we know better. Because it would eat you up. Okay, now, next thing. We're going to look at, let's look at a few paintings. Right here. This is a black light poster that was done by an African American. Okay. Again, we see horrible pieces here, and we also see things of beauty. These are pieces that were created by African Americans. Okay. This is a piece. Okay. This is called the Yellow Dress. This was taken from out of Harlem. Okay. This is a Jacob Lawrence lithograph. What a man. What a man. Okay. This is from our local artist. She's no longer with us. Her name is Augusta Asbury. And she did leave an artistic legacy. This piece was given to me by an artist by the name of Wayne Iverson out of Bremerton. Okay. Okay. And just go here. Some more pieces. And that is called the Negroid. The Negroid. Yep. Hammering Hank Aaron. Okay. Okay. And that's a photograph of from the 1800s of a black jockey. At one time, that was many of your jockeys were African Americans. Okay. During Jim Crow, this is where it stands from Jim Crow. We serve colored carry-out only. Okay, look, we have an alligator with a black man head. You put it in, boom. Okay, you could buy this at tourist shops, especially down south. The significance of this piece is this. Down in Florida, down in the area we had the swamps, the term gator bait became popularized. What they would do, they would put a rope around this African American. He would jump into the water. They would make noise, and the alligator would come after him. Then, as the alligator was coming toward him, they would pull him back into the boat. There were times in which they were unsuccessful in getting him into the boat. So, when you hear the term gator bait, that's what that's about. Okay. When you talk about Black history, Black memorabilia, the rebel flag, okay, and oh man, I forgot this one, man, George Wallace. George Wallace. Oh, what a person. He was the governor of Alabama, and he pledged that no black would ever no black would ever attend at the University of Alabama, but he did. He did. And you know, George Wallace ran for president, and his slogan was "Stand up for America." Now listen to that: "Stand up for America." George Wallace. Doesn't that sound familiar to you? George Wallace, as we know, there was an attempt on his life which paralyzed him and put him in a wheelchair. And right before he died, you know, he asked for forgiveness. I was doing a seminar in Portland, Tacoma, and this young black guy said, "Hey man, you know, George Wallace, you know, changed. You know, he really changed." And I said to that man, I said, "You know, all of the things that he did, I would never forgive him. But the black community forgave him because he went to the black church and he asked for forgiveness, and the black people forgave him for all of the things that he had done. That's powerful, man. But personally, I would never forgive George Wallace. Never forgive George Wallace. Now, then all of a sudden, guys, we're gonna go to the '60s, okay? We're gonna jump to the '60s, man. Okay. We had Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Okay. And Ken Norton. That's an actual poster from that period. Over here we George Foreman and Joe Frazier. I did something wrong. I'm sorry, my fault.
I thought I just put it back in there.
Okay. Okay. Joe Frazier. You also had, oh man, hold on for one sec. One piece. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to go back over here. Okay. This is, you know, back to Ali. Potato chips. Okay. And this is a birthday card that my son, Binky, Larry Logan, had Ali do for me. My son was working with Ali in Kentucky during this period in '04, and he had Ali to do this for me. Also, Ali did another heart for me, and it's very precious to me. Very, very precious to me. And although we had faced up into the '60s so much terror and horror. You know, we had Dr. King going, you know, doing his thing. Okay, we had redefining the black middle class. Okay, which you know during that period, you know, the early '60s, the black middle class actually, guys, was so busy assimilating that many of your middle class blacks did not reach down and pull others up. Okay, they did not. They failed to do that. Am I bitter about that? No, because I understand that we as blacks, you know, we suffer from PTSS, which is post traumatic slave syndrome. Post traumatic syndrome. Oh yes, yes. During the '60s, man, we started talking about I am a man. Black votes count. Black merchants associations. Free South Africa, as we have seen, go to all power to the people. We have within this collection. I have letters from the Black Panthers. We know why the Black Panthers was formed. They were formed to protect the Black community from the police. Okay. In Memphis, Tennessee, they had a group called the oh God, what is it? That one slipped my I get like that. But anyway, the Black Panthers. I have, like I said, newspapers with articles from Eldridge Cleaver and those guys. Okay, Fred Hampton. Okay, we have that, and we have that here in the museum. Okay, all right. Let's do this. Okay, turn around. There was a young lady that there was an entertainer that was traveling down south, and she saw a lynching, and that really influenced her life. The lady, the note, the tears, the clan, the cross, and the strange fruit hanging from the popular tree. Strange fruit. This is the center of my collection. It was given to me by my business partner, Casey and Gretchen Seymour. And this piece God, I mean, it tells the whole story. It complements my collection, but that is strange fruit. Okay, and that ends our small tour. So please, if you get a chance, come down and see this collection by the State of the Union Black and White, the Roosevelt Smith collection of Black Americana. Please come down. There are other pieces that we did not cover, so just come on down. And if you don't get pissed off at some of these pieces, something must be wrong with you. All right? Is that good?
That's fantastic. I so appreciate you,
All right, man.
Mr. Roosevelt, for your time, for your history that is being lost every day, every minute, every second. We don't know our history, and I think that's why we're as stuck as we are, because we don't know it. And so we need folks like you to carry it on. My dad would have absolutely loved this if he had been alive to see this. This is truly wonderful. And, we had Jet Magazine and Essence and the pics with the fist. And, there's just so many memories and the African art, that we had, sitting on the end tables. And the house is just full of it, the paintings. And it's, it's overwhelming. It's powerful. It's powerful. Now, does the museum take donations?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. As we leave out, you can see where you come in. There's a little box, okay? Plus, we have people that have donated, within their will, money, And what we're going to do here at this museum, I'm in the process of archiving Kitsap County Black history, okay? That's what I'm in the process of doing because, right now there's not a central place we can go to get pieces of Black history, Kitsap County Black history, okay? And that's what I'll be doing.
Please support. This is tremendously powerful. This is not only Black history, but this is American history.
Absolutely.
And everyone should know it. Everyone should know it.
Everyone should know this, absolutely. And I have done, these types of seminars at the high schools and, things of this nature, okay, for years. And I will continue to do so. And then my grandson is going to follow in my footsteps. He's 13 right now, but he's going to follow my footsteps.
Wow. Okay. What a legacy. What a rich legacy. All right, everyone. Well, as you know, I'm Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. We will. All right, y'all. As you just witnessed, this is right here in downtown Bremerton. I really, really encourage you to check it out. Powerful exhibit. It's one thing to walk through a museum and kind of take it in, the different sites that are there. I can tell you it's a whole different experience to, have someone, tell you and share the history while you're looking at the items. Whew, boy, that's an exhibit. That's an exhibit. So much history there. So much pain, but so much joy at the same time. We're very resilient people that have come through so much, and these things we cannot forget. And a lot of this isn't taught in our schools, unfortunately. And furthermore, a lot of this isn't necessarily taught in our homes because we don't know all of this history, how rich it is. So it really is incumbent upon us to educate ourselves on the history that exists and to go and seek it out. I'm definitely interested to learn more about Kitsap County Black history. I mean, that sounds pretty exciting. I know there's Loxie Egan's and Quincy Jones and Marvin Williams, more contemporary. So Kitsap County has quite a bit of history here. So I look forward to seeing how that's curated and how that comes about. But again, if you want to donate that information, you can go right down to the Kitsap County Historical Museum, which is down on 284th Street. Again, they're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 5. And there's a donation box right in the front. As I said before, we will be donating $200. I have a surprise for some folks. We're going to do a surprise tour for some folks, and kind of have a private tour, just like you saw there. And that's for some folks that may not otherwise have had the opportunity to have this experience. And I think this would be just a great gift for them. So again, that is Roosevelt Smith. So I thank him and thank his grandson. It's pretty powerful. You ask kids a lot. What do you want to be when you grow up? And doctor, lawyer, police. All kinds of different things. I guess now it might be a YouTuber, an influencer, but I want to follow in the footsteps of Grandpa and talk about our history and share our history. I mean, that is tremendously powerful. I know when I was a child, I didn't have any respect for history and the things that we had gone through. I mean, in school, I was a really smart kid growing up, but history was just not interesting. And again, not that they really taught, this history, but even then, I don't think I wouldn't have had the appreciation that I do now as an adult. So to go back and oh man, just be exposed to all this. It just gives you a different appreciation of the time. Um, I'm going to stop it here, but we're not done tonight. I'm going to just take a quick break and end this, and then we will be back with more. As I said before, and please do come and sign up. We have a great basketball tournament coming up in July. It is the KSP tournament. This is going to be a great one-on-one, three-on-three basketball tournament for people of all ages, kids through adults. It will take place over 3 days. There will be food, prizes, lots of fun, performances by local artists. We're really gonna let loose and have a good time. We have been on lockdown for so long, and we all need some mental health, some self care, and what better way than to come together and participate in the tournament. So if you want more information, you can call 360-340-3581 or email subscribe@ksptournament.com. If you want to register, again, you can go straight to that website and register right there. It's really easy, and we hope to see you there. Again, we are looking for a number of vendors to come and participate in the event, share your resources and information that you have. Let me just take us out to the website really quick. So when you type in www.ksptournament.com, it'll bring you to this page here. And as you can see, you can scroll down more. This is AJ's Summer Prime Basketball Tournament. And you can scroll down here and learn a little bit about why. Why is this happening? Okay, and I told the story a little bit earlier. This is coming about because a 15-year-old wants our community to be able to come together and be healthy, have some fun, and just try to, start to navigate as we kind of move toward the other side of this pandemic. Although we are coming out of the worst of it, there are going to be a lot of folks that are impacted by this for years to come. And so he wanted to do something special and reached out to G2. And I said, hey, yes, we will help you to put this on. And so we are putting our full effort behind little AJ to make this a reality. Again, this event will be July 30th, which is a Friday, Saturday, July 31st, and Sunday, August 1st. And so, what better way than to spend your summer? If you want more information, you can come down to show more, and you'll see the 3 versus 3, the one-on-one. You'll see some of the rewards, and you'll see some of the free agencies. So you don't have to worry if you don't have a 3 people that you want to team up with. You could just sign up as yourself, and we will get you onto a team. So don't even worry about it. Just sign up. That's the main thing, right? Here are some registration options. We do know, I'll go ahead and read this. This might be hard to read on the screen. We understand that at this time, right now, can be very hard on some people, and we believe that a basketball tournament is just what we need to bring the community back together. But as much as we want to bring the community back together, we know everyone can't afford to pay for a tournament right now. So, to make sure that everyone can participate in the tournament, you'll be able to write an essay on uh, what to play in the tournament, or if you want to play in the tournament. And the 25 best written essays will get in completely free of charge. Although it's easy to write up an essay and get into the tournament for free, we will only be selecting the ones who truly need it. And with that being said, your essay will need to consist of a total of 530 words. You'll know once you've reached the maximum limit, it will no longer allow you to type in the box. Okay. If your essay is less than 530, you will not qualify for sponsorship. So I think here, it just try to get as close to 530 as possible. You don't need to come up with any filler sentences. I just want to kind of have a complete thought there, right? So again, that information is there. If you want to register, you can go ahead and click on the registration button, and it should take you to the registration page. And you just put in your first name, your last name, your email, your birthday, the name of your parent and guardian, and your initials saying that you understand, and then submit. It is that easy. And then as we get closer to the date, more and more information will be provided. So, again, this is AJ's Summer Prime Basketball Tournament. We definitely want to support him. One thing that I will say is, our young people, one, not only do they need to be supported, but it's great to see the work and the effort that they are doing. And AJ has worked on the website himself. So this is all his work. I have not helped him with this. And so this is him. And so I think that's really awesome that he is definitely, very passionate about this, is taking it very seriously and working on it, and also trying to finish his schoolwork and get out the rest of the year. So, again, if you are interested, please register at www.ksptournament.com. Again, any questions, if you want details, go ahead and give a call, 360-340-3581. Those dates again will be Friday, July 30, Saturday, July 31, and Sunday, August 1st. So come eat, have a good time, play. Doesn't matter if you're good. There will be other games that will be there also, like 3-point shot or half court shot or things like that. So there'll be some raffles and some other things, something that I might be able to participate in, right? So, again, we want it to be fun for everyone. What is really awesome is Kitsap Public Health is going to help with the event, and so they are going to be providing vaccinations on that date for folks. So you can come on down. If you still have questions about the vaccine, you'll be able to answer those questions there. I know there are many people who are still on the fence and just like want a little bit more time, maybe to, go by before they get vaccinated. They're just not sure, should my kids get vaccinated? What age? All these different things. So, by the time the end of July and August rolls around, and just know you can come out and have fun. And if you decide, you know what, I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do it, you can go ahead and get vaccinated at that point in time. So again, we want to make this a big tent event, and make it as inclusive as humanly possible. So again, if you want to have a booth or a table there, go ahead and give us a call at G2, and that's 360-373-3000. You can share this information with whoever you would like, and we will be providing space as space is available. And again, we do plan on trying to be as big tent as possible and really having a good time. So I think this is going to be a really good event. I love to see Kitsap County pulling together and being the community that I think we all want to see, and the community that we all want to be. So as I said, I'm going to go ahead and take a very short break, and then I will be back on because, it's Friday night. I got some stuff I need to talk about. So I hope you will join me in about 10 minutes or so. All right. But if you don't, have a good weekend. I'm R1 Cameron, and this is The Conduit.